In this video, I'll explain how you use trig to find a missing side length. So we're going to start with a little bit of a review. We have a special right triangle here. This one is a 30, 60, 90, so this missing angle would be 60 degrees. If this is my short leg, I know it's the short leg because it's across the triangle from my 30 degrees. That means my hypotenuse is going to be 2, and my long leg is going to be the square root of 3. So this is that same triangle. Now I'm going to do my trig ratios. The sine of 30 would be opposite over hypotenuse, so that's 1 over 2. The cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, so that's the square root of 3 over 2. And the tangent is opposite over adjacent, which would be 1 over the square root of 3, but when we rationalize our denominator, we end up with the square root of 3 over 3. So now remember these numbers, because we're going to come back to them in a minute. Using our calculator, we're going to put in sine of 30 degrees and figure out what the decimal is. You need to make sure that your calculator is in degrees and not radians. So when you put this in, we already know that the sine of 30 should be 1/2. So when you put that in your calculator, you should get 0.5. For cosine, you should get 0.866, and for tangent, you should get 0.577. So looking back at this one, the cosine of 30 is the square root of 3 over 2. If you do in your calculator the square root of 3 divided by 2, then you get this exact same number. For tangent, when you do the square root of 3 divided by 3, you get this same decimal. So what your calculator is doing is it's finding that ratio, just like we were doing here, but it's going ahead and it's dividing it out and giving you the decimal equivalent of that ratio. So now the way that we're going to use trig to find the missing side. Here's a missing side. I look at which two sides were provided. Since this is the angle they've given us the opposite side and the hypotenuse. So that's going to be sine. So we always write sine of our angle. We never take sine of a side. So sine of the angle is opposite over hypotenuse. So that's x over 5. So here's my equation. Sine of the angle equals opposite over hypotenuse. To get rid of this 5, we're going to multiply both sides by 5. The reason why we do that is because these 5's cancel out. So now I have x equals 5 times the sine of 32. So we can do that in our calculator. And we get that x is 2.649596, and it keeps going a little bit further. We want to practice rounding to the nearest tenth. This is the 10th spot. It's one number to the right of the decimal. That means that when I round this, it's either going to be 2.6 or it will round up to 2.7. It's never going to round down to 2.5. To figure out if it stays the same or rounds up, we look at the number just to the right of that. So we look at the 4. If it's 5 or bigger, then we round up to 2.7. If it's less than 5, then we leave it alone. Since this is less than 5, our answer rounded to the nearest tenth is 2.6. Here's a problem that's very similar to the one we just did. So I'm going to set this up. When I look at my angle, they gave me opposite, and this time instead of hypotenuse, they gave me adjacent. So the trig function that I'm going to use is tangent. Tangent of my angle, 32, equals opposite over adjacent. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 5. And I get that x equals 5 times the tangent of 32. And then I'm going to enter that into my calculator. and rounded to the nearest tenth, I get that x is 3.1. Now this one looks almost the exact same, the only difference is that I've traded the 5 and the x. So since I'm still using the same sides, opposite and adjacent, it's still tangent. So tangent of 32 equals, this time it's 5 over x. So if I want to get the x out of the denominator, I need to multiply both sides by x. Again, I'm doing that so that these cancel out. So I no longer have x in the denominator. So I have x times the tangent of 32. Oops. Equals 5. And since this is multiplication, x times tangent of 32, the way to get rid of multiplication is division. So x is going to be what I get when I do 5 divided by the tangent of 32. So I'm going to do that in my calculator. And rounded to the nearest tenth, I get 8.0. This one comes out to 8.00167. Just because it's zeros does not change the way we round. We're going to round to this spot, so I look at the number to the right of that. Since 0 is less than 5, I leave this alone, so this means that x is going to be 8.0. Alright, so hopefully that's enough for you to be able to do your homework on finding the missing side.